What's going on, guys? Gwaan, my people. Ode Osborne here. Another great podcast for Gwaan with Ode Osborne. And if you don't know what Gwaan means, it means what's going on. And I'm here again in sunny Las Vegas. Weather's nice. Activities are good. About to have the ultimate fights this weekend. Volkanovski versus Islam. We got, the card this weekend is just amazing. I can't wait to talk about it. But first, before we talk about the card this weekend, as you guys all know, I am starting my own program. Chase, do you have that program?
Yeah, I got it pulled up, man.
Okay, cool. I'm starting my own program for pretty much the goal of the program is to build self-efficacy, meaning we want to change the mindset of kids from ages K through 12. It's never too late to change somebody's mindset. You know what I'm saying? And I want to introduce this first in Vegas because the education in Vegas here, we are 49th out of 50, which is terrible. 49th out of 50, 50 meaning bad. So I would love to introduce a program into the school system. As you guys all know, I was an educator for 6 years. I was an assistant teacher. So that's really my roots. So I designed this entire program for kids to help them build their fundamentals, give them a foundation, a platform that they can then fall back on later on in life, a safety net, as you would say, teaching them things like discipline, respect, how to be just a hardworking individual of society. And with that being said, I'm going to give you guys the first preview to my program called The Wolf. So there you have it, guys. That is The Wolf, and it will be coming soon, probably the new year by January, but I'm hoping to launch end of November, early December. If it doesn't happen that way, I'm not going to put a bad product into the market because I want this to benefit kids. I want this to be something that kids can actually enjoy. I don't just want it to be another thing that they can go online and just watch this video and fall asleep at. I want it to be like Bill Nye the Science Guy. I'm trying to be the black Bill Nye out here. If y'all ever watched Bill Nye, man, that was the show. Every school had Bill Nye, and that's what I'm trying to have. I'm trying to put the wolf in every single school. All right, moving on. Now, joining me in the studio, we have UFC heavyweight Carl Williams.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing?
Woo!
Let's go. Man, congrats. I like that. I like the wolf.
Damn, man. The wolf is good. It's something that I've been preparing for a long time. This program took me 6 years. The program itself took me about a week in the studio to write the script, act out, and rehearse everything over and over and over again. But the foundation, the core of the program took me 6 years because every single year when I was in the school, I would, for example, I would talk to Timmy and I'd be like, hey, Timmy, go to garbage and spit your gum out.
Yep.
And he responded negatively, you know what I'm saying? So I would write things down. Okay, you know what? Timmy didn't like how I told him to spit his gum out. Let's change our verbiage. Let's change how we talk to Timmy. And I would say, okay, let's try. Hey Timmy, can you please do me a favor, man? I'm trying to. It's not. Look, I don't care if you chew gum, but the school does not want me to have you chewing gum.
Yep.
All right. It's not me. It's the rules. Okay. And so I did it that way. And then Timmy was like, you know what? I get that. Okay, I won't chew gum no more.
And on top of that too, especially dealing with kids, because I coach and stuff like that.
Yeah.
A lot of times dealing with kids, if they respect you and you come a certain way, like you just said.
Yep.
For me, I'm like, if I'm doing something with kids, I'll be like, hey, we both go get in trouble if you do this, right? Yeah. And they'd be like, for real? I'd be like, yeah, because the rules, like you have the rules, but then I got the rules too. So you kind of explaining them to a little bit.
Yes.
You still, because the biggest thing, especially with these kids, is getting them to understand why they're getting in trouble.
Yes.
Because I have 2 kids, and my son, I have to explain like, this is why,
And they don't get the why, like you just said.
Yeah.
They don't understand that part.
Yeah. And you have to explain it to them. And sometimes you got to explain it to some kids more than others. But at least if you change, like you said, change the verbiage, they'll be like, oh, okay. And you'll be like, wait, I just told you 100 times, can you spit the gum out?
Yep.
Thing. And then you're like, the school, like this, they're like, oh, okay.
It's true. And not just that, but something I really found that helped me was understanding that I had to give the kids grace.
Yep.
Meaning I had to understand that they are just kids.
Amen.
So I'm going to have to talk to them 100 times to spit the gum out. I can't get mad if they don't spit their gum out time number 5. Especially the boys.
Yeah. Yep.
The boys always.
I was that kid. I was that kid. That's why I'm so the biggest accomplishment. I don't like we talked about happiness the other day. Biggest accomplishment for me is just watching my son be the student that he is.
Yeah.
Because I was one of the worst ones, man.
Oh, for real?
Especially growing up in St. Thomas, the teachers could beat you.
Yo,
so I was getting beatings. I was like, they pull your hand back like this, hit you right across the knuckles with that nice.
I remember that beat growing up in Jamaica. They hit us on the palm. Like, not the palm.
The knuckle. They switch it up.
Oh, yeah.
Each teacher had a special way of beating you.
It's true.
Each teacher had that special ruler. You know, this teacher got that ruler, so you don't want to mess with her, because then she going to like either they'll make you close your hand, beat you on your knuckles this way, or they'll bend your, my hand's too old now, but back in the day, my fingers could really bend that way, and they'll beat you across the palm.
Yeah, I remember
but I deserved every single one of those. So the prime thing for me is like, I'm raising a kid that is not like that. Yeah. And he's like, the teachers, praise him and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I did something right. I gave something back. I wasn't a good student growing up, but I gave the school system a good student.
You gave back to the society.
So I gave them back. I gave them something they could work with. But next thing to what you were saying with giving a kid's grace, one of my biggest philosophies is especially when you're dealing with kids, other people, kids are the product of their environment.
Yes.
So now you telling Timmy to spit out gum, or some kids are talking to you a certain way. That's how they talk, and they see their parents talk all day long.
It's true.
And then they see their auntie talk like that all day long. Everybody in their ecosystem acts and talks like this. We have been blessed to go to college, and also sometimes, especially you coming from Jamaica, me coming from St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands, we was blessed to be able to see different cultures. I came to America, you can't even touch a student up here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Man.
So
they put you in jail quickly. In Jamaica, nah. What, man?
I seen a beating in Jamaica. I was out there for the Olympic trials. I seen a beating go down in Jamaica from a police to a homeless, civilian. Whew. I was happy to be American. Born to be American, baby. Because I saw that whoop. I was like, you should have just stayed across that fence. You should have never jumped that gate. You should have just stayed over there. Man, he was calling for his mother. He was talking crazy at first. But at the end of that beating, he was calling for his mother so bad. It was a grown person too. I said, yeah.
That's how it happens, man. People always talk crazy until they get that whooping.
So
and it's another story. But going back to what you said, it's true. Kids are a product of their environment. And the school system sometimes have a misconception of how a kid's home life is, They feel that these kids wake up in the morning, they go downstairs, sit at the breakfast table, get their breakfast from mom and dad. Mom and dad gives them their lunch. They take their lunch. They go in the minivan. They sit and wait for their other sibling. Everybody gets in the minivan. They sing songs on the way to school. It's like, no. You know what? A lot of these kids, most of these kids have an obligation to do in the morning, where a lot of the kids wake their siblings up, take care of their baby sister or baby brother, make them breakfast, get them ready for school. It's crazy what a lot of these kids actually have to go through in the morning times. So
all while getting yelled at.
And then they're like, they expect so much. And not only that, but they're like, okay, you know what? We have to get these kids from a level 0 up to a level 5. Forgetting that half of these kids aren't even at a level 0. Half of these kids are like -5. So you got to go beneath the surface and raise them up to a 0 first. And that's where, I come in, you come in, people like us who actually put the extra time in, isn't just doing it for a check. We tell these kids, hey, we believe in you. We love you. You can do it. And that's all they need. They need a lot of basic needs. A lot of the kids don't have basic needs met, meaning they don't understand discipline. They don't understand structure. They don't understand how to walk through the halls, something as simple as that, because to them, they've been, like you said, they've been shown how to do things by their parents. And if their parents have been doing things wrong and incorrect, guess what? They're going to do things wrong and incorrect. And is it their fault? No, it's absolutely not their fault. But you have to show them. You have to show them lovingly and respectfully. And you have to give everything to them, you know. But talk to me a little bit about Virgin Islands and what do you think the difference is being in Virgin Islands, coming to the United States, opportunities wise?
Oh man, you get so much more opportunities here. Like, it's a great life in the islands if you like, you know, that slow and steady pace, which I'll put it towards like living in the country. Like, you live in a country area, you go to high school. Once you get to high school, you find that local job, or you go work with your parents
on the farm.
Yep, you go work. You find something in that local area that you're gonna go work for. And St. Thomas is like that. I think the island's only 32 square miles, so not that big of a place. Not there's no warehouses and stuff like that. So you got to find those local jobs, and a lot of people don't. So, and
it's hard too. You know, a good job in Jamaica. If you graduate like top of your class, a good job is working at the factory.
Yep.
If you work at the factory, you made it.
And we ain't even got the factory. So good job is Kmart. Kmart falling down. You got Kmart. I mean, you got some of the government buildings. I mean, government jobs, but when you're in the islands, it's only but so many government jobs.
Yes, and you got to graduate like number 1 in your class to even acquire a government job. My mom worked for the Jamaican embassy.
Oh, see?
She had a government job. You know, she was very bright. She was a very bright student. Unfortunately, I didn't get blessed with that, with that, you know, immediate knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Where some people, it just comes easy to them. Yeah. I was not that person. I had to work my ass off to get it. You know what I mean? I didn't, and I still didn't get it until about after college. That's when I started to slowly understand how things work. But the thing about it is because we were raised differently than our parents were raised. You know what I'm saying? We were raised differently. Oh, yeah. We didn't have a choice, but we did. They really didn't have a choice. You know what I'm saying? They really didn't have a choice. It was life and death for them. Yeah. It wasn't really necessarily life and death for us.
We got the not like the new age kids, because I know some people a little bit younger than us, and they're like 20s, because I'm in my 30s.
Yep. How old are you, if you don't mind me
33.
asking? 33, okay.
So you see the younger generation, I feel like this, I feel like my this, and I was like, where's all these feelings coming from? Like, we was able to feel and different stuff, but you felt in silence. Yes. Like, now these kids is like, they just feel however they feel, and they let everybody think, and it's like,
let everyone know.
You got, you know, but growing up, you didn't have that option.
Yeah, and not just that. I talked about this before. This is a society of feel bad for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, for example, anytime something happens, a kid immediately wants that attention. I want you to feel bad for me. And so they use that, you know. But what it does, and I'm going to say this, I might get, you know, some shit for it, but it makes kids soft.
Yeah.
It makes them soft because it doesn't teach them how to grow in a certain way where they know that they're not the only ones going through trials and tribulations. In their minds, they're the only ones that, I don't know.
Got fired today.
Yeah.
It's like, no, ton of people got fired today. You're not the only one. But what are you gonna do after you get fired? It's like, are we gonna
improve?
Yep. Are we gonna say, I'm never gonna let this happen? I'm renting an Airbnb right now, and the host used to be a pharmacist. The company they work for closed. They was like, I'm never gonna let this happen to me again.
Yeah.
But they're also 34, 35.
Yeah, but
so they're like, I'm never gonna let this happen to me again. And they started a real estate business, completely thing. They're like, I'm not going back into working for somebody. But that's the difference in the generation. Some people just sit there and be like, I'm gonna go back to my mom's house. I'm gonna just go stay by a friend or something. And then it's like, you know, woe is me. But it's like, nah, you don't really have that option.
And I think a lot of the kids was just given too much. When you give a student or a child so much, eventually they don't value hard work.
Yep.
When you get everything and you get older, you expect everything. Whereas you and I, we came from, you know, the islands where we had to work for everything. Even when we came to the States, we had to work for everything. Nothing was handed to us. And I think a part of that, though, wasn't the fact that nothing was handed to us because our parents didn't want to give it to us. Nothing was handed to us because our parents didn't have it.
Yeah.
And we understood that, and we wanted to make a better life for our parents and for ourselves and for, our future. But, now we're here. So I'm super proud of you, by the way. You got to the UFC, was it last year?
Last year, yeah.
Last year you got to the UFC, and was it on Contender Series?
Contender Series, was that episode like 7 or 8 or so? Yeah.
Yeah, and did you get your contract on Contender Series or after?
Yeah, on Contender Series.
Right, because I know a lot of people, they fight and they win. I just had a teammate of mine, Timmy Kawamba. He fought on Contender Series, he won, but he didn't get the contract. A lot of people get picked up afterwards.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. They'll get picked up after Contender Series and make their run that way. But, man.
And if you, even with that, like I see some people, I look at people's records and stuff like that, especially with my opponents.
Yeah.
They'll take a loss, or just some people that they'll lose and then they'll stop. It's like, dang.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, take that loss and just go harder, especially with this MMA. So that's the best thing with MMA. It's your body, especially if you're an athlete, it's your body and your mind.
It's the mentality.
And just push. You could just push it. It's not like a job. Mm-hmm. You have to, do these different type of reports and stuff like that. But the best thing I always like being an athlete, and even when I had my trucking company, is like, I can get up and I can just do it.
Yeah.
And then the results will come depending on how much I put into it. So for me with MMA, like I took a loss. Biggest thing I did, I got right back in the gym, started doing jiu-jitsu because I got choked out bad.
Yeah.
Don't go on YouTube and watch it. But if you do go on YouTube, go to my YouTube channel and watch it so I can at least get some views. But if you want to see it, he choked me out. But I was like, you know what? I need to go hard at jiu-jitsu.
All been there.
So yeah. I went back harder in jiu-jitsu, and then I booked another fight right away. So now I'm okay. I know I'm gonna be learning, and now I have an opportunity to put what I learned to use.
You have an opportunity to
grow. And
you
just keep rolling, especially with MMA. So if you lose on like the Contender Series, book another fight. Because when they start looking back at people, because they need those last minute people. So when they go back and they look, it's like, okay, this person lost, or even you won a Contender Series. All right, you went right back and booked a fight like 2 months later. Oh, this person don't even care. Well, they care about, getting into UFC because this is amazing. But
it really is.
But it shows you like, okay, I want to fight. And that's what they want to see. Like, are you willing to fight?
But again, it goes back to what I was saying before. It's a mindset thing. A lot of people quit the first time they fail, they quit something because they don't understand the mindset of not giving up. Not trying. I may not ever be a UFC champion, but guess what? Until I run out of oxygen, I'm gonna try. And I guess that's a bad way of saying it. Until I run out of oxygen. Until I stop fighting. Let's say it that way. Until I stop fighting, I am going to continue to pursue being a UFC champion until I stop fighting, because you have to understand that it takes a while in order for things to happen organically. People feel that, I do this one time and I'm gonna get everything. That's not the way it is. If you spend 5 years or 10 years doing something, it's going to come to fruition in a good way. You don't have to be the best at something right away. And that was the false perception that people has, is that we are gonna be the best right away. If I do this right away, I'm gonna be successful. It's like, no. I failed 100 times to get here. You probably failed 100 times to get where you at. You know what I'm saying? There is no success without failure. So you have to constantly keep failing, just over and over and over and over and over again until you get where you want to go, and I wouldn't have understood that if I hadn't failed this many times. Some people, you see like Khabib and Islam and all those guys, when they grow up in a society where it's just mountains and they don't, there's no distractions. They're solely training 24/7, or they're going home to their family, going back to training, going home to their family. Here, we have so many other things that we have to think about, we have to do, that causes us anxiety, causes us depression. There, man, none of that is even in existence because that's not what they believe. They don't believe in any of that. So in order to beat those people, you have to fail a bunch. You gotta, fail at jiu-jitsu, then get good at jiu-jitsu. Fail at stand-up, then get good at stand-up. Fail at, every single thing that you do in this life. In order to do it successfully, you have to fail at it in some way, shape, or form.
And I'll go to, even like with you and your program, The Wolf. Y'all check it out when it come out. But like you said, it took you 6 years. So depend on, and some people look at failure in different ways.
Yep.
So for like you with your some people will be like, oh, it took me 6 years to just come to like just get this to this point. I failed. Or it's taken me 3 years and I still don't have something to show for it. And then, so especially with Islanders or foreigners, I just put everybody else foreign. Their family is gonna be like, "Why you wasting your time doing this? Why you thinking?" You be like, "Dog, I'm trying to build Amazon," and they'd be like, "Don't go and build Amazon. Go work at FedEx. Go work at do thing." And you like, "No, but I'm building Amazon. I'm building Tesla." And they'd be like, "Nah." Like my mother when I was
even fighting, same.
Yeah, my mother when I was working for a truck company, I was like, "Man, I could just get my own truck and I can make this much money." And I just stop working for these people and I get more control and stuff like that. She was like, "Why don't you just drive the people in them truck?" And I'll be like, "Cause I can make this much money if I just put the same amount of work effort that I'm giving them. I put even more for myself. I can do it." So
complacency.
Yep. So to your thing with the failure is like sometimes people failure looks different, but the biggest thing is one, like you said, keep going, but don't put a time frame on yourself with certain things because then you end up rushing stuff or you end up messing it up. And now it's like, okay, if like for me, I'm 33, I got into the UFC at 22 and Dana was like, "I don't hire, 22-year-olds or 32-year-olds and different stuff." And it's like, but I'm here.
Wait, you got into the UFC at 32?
Yeah.
You said 22.
Yeah.
Okay,
I wish.
I was like,
I truck driving that, but so at 32, I got into the UFC last year. So, but I started MMA at 28, never did it before, didn't even really know what it was. I was trying to get into wrestling.
Yep.
And you had Cody Durden on the show.
Yep.
Cody, I called Cody because I was trying to get into wrestling. I saw him doing like grappling and stuff like that, not knowing it's jiu-jitsu. I'm thinking he just wrestling, it's just a little clip. So I'm like, all right, hit me up. Let me come over there and do, because I was like 28, I'm feeling shape. I was big for truck. I got fat. So I'm like, man, I got back in shape, lost the weight, and I'm like, okay.
So you hit up Cody?
Yeah, I hit up Cody. I was like, man, I'm my weight's down. I think I could make a run for this wrestling stuff.
Yeah.
And
man, he told me y'all didn't like each other in high school.
Yeah, but Cody is Cody. Cody is Cody. And I always tell him, Cody is Cody.
Cody is Cody, man.
Yeah.
That little Cody.
So, and then he really, Cody, we small, and I've been big this size. Cody grew a little bit since high school.
Y'all didn't like each other in high school.
We was cordial, but Cody be Cody, and then I'm gonna match your energy, so then we just bump heads.
I'm like, how y'all on the same wrestling team and not get along?
For the most part, we got along, but we bump heads a lot. Outside of wrestling season, we bump heads.
I feel that.
Because our school had weightlifting, so you had to go and lift weights. So it's like, yep.
So is there anything else that you're doing in the background right now, or just solely focusing on training?
Just solely focused.
Okay.
I'm a one track. I do stuff with the family in my house.
Yeah.
So
and how many kids do you have?
Two.
2 kids?
8, 9, and 3.
Boy and girl or girl?
Boy and girl.
Boy and girl. That's what's up, man.
And then I'm out the game.
Then you're out the game.
Salute y'all. Y'all got it. Y'all keep hope alive. Yeah.
Your wife's a lucky lady, man.
Nah, I'm lucky. I'm the lucky one. So.
No, you're good. You're a great. I've talking to you so many times. Every time I speak to you, you're just very genuine and humble and honest, and I love that. So yeah, your wife's a lucky lady.
Same.
So I really respect everything that you bring to the table. Even fighting, I watch I forgot what fight it was. It was at the Virgin. Was it the Virgin Hotel?
Yeah, the first one.
The Virgin Hotel. That was the first time I seen you fight, and I'm like, man, this dude's gonna be something, man. He's gonna be. The way you came in there, you were like, you came in there with everything you had from the first bell rung to the last bell ended, and you took him down with everything you had. You stood up with him with everything you had, and I was like, I like this dude. Everything he does it 100%. Yep. And I like that mentality.
Because I always tell people I do what I love, and I have fun with it. Like even coming out, like what I tell myself when I'm coming out is let's have fun.
Yeah,
let's have fun. Like everybody's like, oh, let's go. I'm like, let's just have some fun. And I enjoy myself, so I can give what I have all to it because I'm having fun. Like every day, like I have a problem. Even at the PI, I have a problem. I think I be annoying them because I be at the PI all day sometimes when I'm here. Man. Or even I'm at my gym in Atlanta. I'm at the gym almost all day. Yeah. But I love it. I love the people. So I can, my coach, 3-4 practices a day. I'll be like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Pro practice and go straight to boxing and
That's
go strength and conditioning. Then I go to jiu-jitsu in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And I can roll with everybody, have a good time because I'm having fun. You know, it's nothing for me. So
having fun.
That's how it is.
That's what's up, and having fun and getting it done. I love that.
Yes, sir. I like that.
That's the mantra. That's the mantra.
That's gonna be on my next shirt.
Having fun and getting it done.
Yep.
So you have any hobbies like video games? You did tell me you were into filming.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into the camera stuff.
Okay, so that's your hobby.
Yeah, I'm building and man, I'm into whatever.
Like what do you love other than fighting? What do you love to do? Like you can sit there and so for me, I bought a drone and I love taking drone videos. I love to edit drone videos. I love to film, edit, create things, right? So what do you love to do other than fighting?
And like remodeling houses.
Okay.
Like I love truck driving.
Really? Yeah, because it's peaceful.
Yeah, I just like peaceful things.
Yeah,
like
remodeling is peaceful. You know, Jesus was a carpenter.
You see?
You know, one of the most peaceful men is Jesus. Jesus was, you know, an amazing carpenter. So I can see anytime people say like, oh yeah, I love like, you know, doing houses or fixing things up. I'm like, okay, I understand who you are. That's amazing. Yeah. You like to build things, you like to create.
Yeah. So I did my fence. I redid my bathroom. Mm-hmm. I did my closet in the last fight versus Chase Sherman. I was in fight camp. Mm-hmm. I'll wake up. I'll start remodeling my closet. Yeah. And then I'll go train, then come straight for practice, and go right back in the closet, building it back up. So I did that for the whole fight camp.
So you's who I gotta call. I gotta call you when I need stuff to be built in my house.
There you go. I had a friend call me. She wanted she wanted like the little sectional things they put
like the little couch?
nooks, the little nook couches.
Yeah.
Like she just texted me on Instagram, hey, you think you'll build this? I was like, yeah. And then I think she ended up buying something else.
Man, if I called you and asked you if you think you build this and you said yeah like that, I would call somebody else. You were like, yeah. You know what I mean? I need something more like, hell yeah, I can build that.
Nah, we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. It's gonna get built. Because even for me, was selling our first house, and I just ended up ripping I hated the bathroom. Yeah. So I ended up ripping the whole bathroom out. Never done this before. My uncles and all my family does construction back in the islands. Yeah. And I've seen them do it in different things, and I was like, I have an idea of how to do this. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna just do it. So I just ended up just ripping out the whole bathroom, and we're selling the house now. Yeah. So I could have just left everything the way it is and just be like, all right, buy it as is and go.
Like flawlessly, like how you wanted it. You envisioned how it was going to be, and it turned out to what your vision was?
Yes and no.
I want to hear
I say yes and no because the shower, I should have tiled the shower, but I tiled the floor, and I put the Crawford tubs, the standalone tubs everybody doing now, because I had because I'm big, so I can't fit in them regular tubs. It needs to be out the water, so I'm like, I'm not selling this house with this tub. I hate this
heavyweight tub.
Yes, man, look, them big
tub there.
Yeah, them one. So I was like, man, I gotta get rid of this tub and this shower. I can't sell this house to somebody and have them in there.
That's not as bad as I thought. I thought you were gonna say like yes and no. Like we did the tiles and we did the bathroom, but none of the sinks worked.
No, everything worked. Like we sold the house. The people in closing, the people was like, whose idea was it for the bathroom? And the lady looked at my wife and she was like, it was your idea for the bathroom? It came out, like I said, it came out good, but it wasn't exactly like I wanted it. But I don't have the skill set to get it all 100% like I wanted to. But
trial and error.
Yeah, exactly.
Trial and error.
Failing. So, but what do you consider failure? So it's like, dang, it's not what I want it to be, but it's functional, it's working. And then the lady was like, the bathroom was the reason they bought the house. And we made some good money on it. But it was like, the bathroom was the reason they bought the house because it was like, it was different and it was just spacious. It was nice when it came out, but like I said, it just wasn't my vision. But that's sometimes like we go to the stuff with, what is your consideration of failure? It wasn't exactly like I wanted it, but for them, they didn't have my vision in mind.
That's amazing that you said that. Hold up.
Go ahead.
Drop my damn pen. It's amazing that you said that actually, because I wrote that down. One of the students that I volunteer at the middle school, he asked me, he's like, who's the most successful person that follows you on Instagram? And I was like, I don't know. Because my definition of success is different than everyone's definition of success, or what my definition of success used to be when I was younger. when I was younger, I used to think success was how much do I have in my bank account? If I have $1 million, then I'm successful. Now that I'm older, I still don't have $1 million in my bank account, at least not yet. But I understand that success is stability, happiness, and comfort, right?
Yep.
Am I happy with what I'm doing? Can I provide for myself with what I'm doing? And does it make me comfortable with what I'm doing? Right? That is success for me. It's not money. It used to be money when I was younger because that's what
They
I
teach
was.
you.
Yes, that's
Society
what I
teach you that money.
Exactly. That's what I was taught. Now that I'm older, I'm like, whoa, I'm doing all these things. You know, I work with the students. I have a podcast. I'm coming out with my own program that's going to teach kids. I love this. I love life. And I feel very successful. Even though my bank account isn't as impressive as I want it to be, I still feel successful. Yep. And to me, in my eyes, I am successful. And I feel like failure is such a false sense of humans, how we use the word failure. It's just a false sense of, I guess, it's a false sense of perception to what we do, right? So we perceive failure as if you do something, it doesn't work out, then you suck.
But then again, too, failure would judge it off of other people.
Yes.
Like we don't never say like if we write out, if we have nothing to go off of, like matter of fact, when you come to America, in the islands, you own your house. You made
it if you made it to America.
Exactly. You made it. That alone is like, dang, I'm doing better. So now that's could be success. But then when you come to America and you start seeing people with houses and cars, now it's like, man, I ain't doing enough. And then you trying to do it. So now you like, oh, I'm failing. But you forgot when you was back home, especially in these, I'll say other countries, because I know other people around the world live similar to how I grew up, when it's like, you ain't got running water.
No.
You know?
None. I didn't face hot water. I didn't get a chance to feel hot water until I came to the United States in 2001.
You ain't boil it?
Man, I'm talking about like hot water coming out the spigot.
Oh, okay. That's different now. Yeah.
I never had a chance to feel what hot water was. So when I came here, man, I got off the airport and got into the bathroom and turned the shower on. I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, wow, what is this? This is different. You know, I'm like, I asked my mom, I'm like, do we have access to this all the time?
And that's different too. That alone.
Yeah.
You growing up in America, I know growing up, we've had times where we like run out of water. And you ever seen those blue barrels? We'll have those at the house, and you collect the rainwater. And you'll go out, you get a 5-gallon bucket, dip it in the bucket. They'll be like, how you so strong? I was in second grade lifting 5-gallon buckets because that's the only way you're going to bathe. If you think you're going to bathe.
Or you walk down to, if you live by a river, like we had, you know.
St. Thomas too small for rivers.
We had a little river that was probably like 2 miles away, you know. Ooh. So we walked to that river, fill it up, put the bucket on our heads, and hold it and walk back. I didn't do it because I was really, really young, but I see my mom did it, my uncle did it, our family members did it. And if you run out of water, that's how you do it. You go to the river, you put the bucket on your head, you go home, you boil the water, and you got water.
Yep.
But now it's so...
Y'all drank it too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's very clean. I don't know if it is anymore, but it used to be. But now everything to us comes so easy. This iPhone right here, everything is on this iPhone. Literally, I can look up how to be a professional fighter, and I'll get the blueprint on my iPhone. I can look up how to be a doctor, and I can get the blueprint. They have courses you can take. Colleges isn't even the same anymore because a lot of people are doing online courses now. COVID exploded the online course market. After COVID happened, people were like, you know what? I'm just going to do an online course because what's the difference between a professor that's talking to me through a computer screen and me being in the class actually watching that professor? Or what's the difference between me reading the material and that professor's talking? Realistically, there is no difference, but that's what we've been conditioned to believe or conditioned to see. We're conditioned to believe that if we don't go to that D1 or Ivy League school and have that D1 professor talking to us, we're not going to retain that knowledge, and that is false.
Because then you got to learn. I know first thing I went to Georgia State coming out of high school, and they made us do a learning, and you're a teacher. How do you learn? Are you a visual learner? So some people, they can just get the material, read it themselves, and know it, pass all the tests. And some people need to be in there, sitting down with the professor to learn that material. They're not gonna get. I can't do the online stuff.
Me either. That was me. I had to be. I'm more of a one-on-one visual with the professor explaining to me how things are broken down. I need things broken down in steps because that's how my brain works. Yep. But like you said, there's visual learners and then there's learners that imagine things. So for example, when I used to teach, I used to tell them a story. So if we're doing a graph, right? Rise over run. And I drew 0.0. We start at 0 and then we go, over or up to over 1. And draw a graph that way. That's usually how people explain how we draw a graph. All right, we got +5, +6, up 5, over 6. And then, you know what I'm saying? That's how they explain. But I didn't do it that way. I did it in a way of, I said it backwards. Over first, then up. But I didn't do it that way. I explained it. I explained it in a way of creating an airplane and a runway, right? So I would say, hey, use your imagination, and here's the coordinates. Your coordinates are 5, 6. Think of an airplane on a runway, and I draw this airplane on this runway. And I said, this runway is 0, 0, meaning this plane has not moved. Yep. This plane needs to get to a destination of 5, 6, meaning it has to go over 5 in order to go up in the air. An airplane can't go up first and then go over. Only rocket ships can go up. So it needs some distance. It needs some room to run in order for it to go up. So I would tell them that way, and I'd explain or draw out the airplane, and I would just, all right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're gonna take flight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they got it that way, but they had to use certain imagination. Now there were kids that were more learning by examples, right? So you have to give them the airplane runway example. There's kids that learn by seeing it. Okay, you know what? I drew it on the board and then, okay, boom, I saw it done. Now I understand it. And then there's people that learn by words. They don't have to look. They don't have to be there. All they need to do is put headphones in and hear somebody tell them, or all they need to do is listen, and they learn that way. Yeah. That's why ASMR is such a big thing in this generation. If you notice that, the younger generation, they love that ASMR where people are talking into the microphone like this. They love that. We just
was talking about this at the PI too. I was like, I don't know what this stuff is, but they love it.
They love the ASMR. They love it, man. It's crazy. They'll have somebody crinkling some bag, and the sounds from the bag is just like soothing to their ears. But
my sister-in-law, she like when they be scratching their head or something, like they just run the comb through their hair. I was like, what in the world?
I think it's creepy to me.
Yeah.
I think it's
but we old.
Yo,
we are old.
I saw this one. My students was like, Mr. O, listen to this guy chew gum. I'm like, first of all,
they say one of the big ones is ice.
Ice, eating
ice, like the chewing gum.
I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's pretty much a person chewing gum or eating ice close to the microphone, and those sounds are supposed to be soothing. But to me, it's weird. I'm sorry.
I'll be like, chew with your mouth closed. I'll be like, look, I don't want to hear you eat.
I don't. It's weird, but kids want to hear them eating in high definition. They don't just want to hear them eating. They want to hear them eating live and direct right in their eardrums. And to me, I'm like, that's a no. I can't. Nope, no way.
You used to get in trouble for smacking. I'm like, spit it out. You be like, what I do? Chewing the gum too loud. They be like, spit it out. You can't even have gum no more.
You can't chew it. It's true.
Now they paying you to chew gum.
Yeah, isn't it crazy though? Before, people used to tell me, don't go to college for business. I'm sorry, don't go to college for communication. There's no money in communication. Don't go for this and that. There's no money in this and that. Go to college for business. All the money's in business. You want to grow up and you want to own your own business. You want to be a boss. You want to be your own boss. So you go to college for business. Now it's different. All the money is in communications now. All the money. You see people on TikTok making millions of money just by recording themselves making a video. You see YouTubers millions of dollars.
Communication, coding. And marketing,
website developing. YouTube has gotten so much publicity and clout from people making I guess, changing their lives. You know, YouTube now is shit. It's bigger than a lot of colleges.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh man, because
you might as well just do that.
Yeah, everything is on YouTube nowadays. Everything's on YouTube, and now there's a platform. YouTube now will pay you for creating content. If your content is good enough, they will pay you for it. So I think it's so crazy now that you can actually make a living with communications and social media rather than going to college and getting a business degree. Yep. Now, is that something I'm suggesting that you do? Absolutely not.
Because this is hard work.
Yeah.
Do not think it's easy. That's the biggest thing. It's not super that hard. Easy. So
I don't think college is for everybody, but I do think everyone should at least experience college.
Yes.
Go to college and experience college. And if you get there and you're like, you know what, this isn't for me, all right, fine. Figure something else out. But everybody should go and experience college at least one time in their life. Just to, you know what I mean? Just to be like, you know what? I went and I experienced it and it was for me or it wasn't for me. Because if you don't actually take the time to experience something, you don't get the lesson, you know? Yeah. So that's
the biggest thing for college is you're away from your family, away from your friends. Like high school, you were in that little bubble. So you had the friends that you had to choose from. When you get to college, these people ain't even in your class like that. You might meet them in the cafeteria or walk into a class. So you get to choose who your friends are off of how they act. Like in high school, you might be friends with somebody and they don't really treat you right or act right, but I know them for so long, or this the only person that I could kind of relate to, but they still treat you like trash. In college, you be like, I don't need to talk to you. Like I might never, I could see you in passing. So you get to choose. And you get to see people from different cultures, different backgrounds, single parent, both parents, now same-sex parents, different stuff. You get to see and talk to people like, oh, how? And then if you come with an open mind, it's like, how was it, being same-sex parents or biracial parents? Like I know, especially like I'm black, so coming from the black community, right? I think so. I consider myself Islander, but that's gonna be I'm gonna get canceled for that one. But black people who raised in like certain cultures, like in proper households with families from prestige, they go to they want to go to HBCU. So now it's like I never been around black people. I don't even know how to act around them. I think, and then they start going around. They go to like a HBCU or they go to like college, and you get to see other black people that are similar to them. It's like, oh, I like anime. It's like, oh, I never knew a black person that liked anime. And you'd be like, there's a whole group.
You ever talk to Chris Curtis? Man, Chris Curtis love anime.
I would never knew that.
Really?
He looked too gangster. He got the afro and stuff like that. I would think he'd like that. But
Chris Curtis is an anime nerd, man. If you talk to Chris Curtis, he knows everything about anime, all the animes,
And I did judge Chris, but go ahead.
And Barnett, what's his name?
Chris. Oh yeah, I've trained with Chris. Yeah,
Chris love him some anime. Chris love, but that's the thing. There's so many black people that love anime. I like anime, you know what I mean? And I didn't really. I thought it was just like no one really knew about anime. I was like,
I just knew Dragon Ball Z. If I knew more about it, I probably would have been into anime. I love Dragon Ball Z, but I never. That was it. It was like Dragon Ball Z, and that was the only thing.
But to me, in my mind, I'm thinking like, no one else that looks like me really mess with anime. Yep. It's just, something that I like. But come to find out, when I left to college, that's another thing. Leaving to college is good for us because we want to get away from what we're used to. We want to get away from our friends, our family, because a lot of times our friends and our families can be our biggest downfall.
Amen.
Your friends especially. Yep. They can be your biggest downfall. Your family can be your biggest downfall. So many times I go home and I see my friends are doing the same stuff and I'm like, okay, you know what? I haven't been to Florida in 10 years, but these people are still doing the same stuff. All right, well, nothing here for me. So it's good. I'm not judging anybody, but it's good to get away from those people that constantly want to keep you average, keep you doing, I want to excel. If you want to be average, like for example, my dad, he goes to, he works at a bakery and he goes home, goes back to the bakery, then he goes home and he does that every single day. And he loves, that's him. And if that's you, fine.
Power to you.
More power to you.
My mother
but that is not me.
That
is not me. I'm trying to conquer the world. And if you're trying to conquer the world, get out of your hometown.
Yep.
Get out
I
of your
just talked to
hometown.
somebody just before I came here. I was talking to somebody at the PI about that because it was like, well, I'm here in Vegas doing something, and then when I leave, I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to move to. And I was like, the best thing you could do for yourself in life is move away. Like I've always been, since I moved from St. Thomas, I've always moved. I lived in Florida. I lived in South Carolina. I lived in Pittsburgh. But you have to meet new people. Get out of your comfort zone. And especially when you do this kind of stuff too, you have to do it with an open mind to learning the culture, and learning those people, and growing. Not even about the people, exactly what you just said, about growing. Am I willing to grow, and do I even want to grow? Because it's okay to be at home and like, man, ain't nothing for me here. Ain't nothing for me here. Then you move to another town and you're doing the exact same thing you're doing back home. So the town wasn't even you. It wasn't the problem. It was you.
Or when people say, ain't nothing for me here, ain't nothing for me here, then they leave and they complain that the environment is so different than what they're used to.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Man, it's always like this out here. But like, that's what you left. I want to go to New York. I want to go to New York. Man, New York, it's too much going on. New York this. That's New York. Like so you have to know yourself. And when you go there, okay, if I go, like I lived in Pittsburgh for 2 years. I hate the cold, absolutely hate the cold. But I found enjoyment in it, and I found a beauty in it. But I still hate the cold. But it's like, okay, when I go there, I still have to have the open mind, take my son out and do the little snow angel. And, go sledding and ice skating and stuff like that.
I hate doing stuff like that, but I love the experience of doing things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like the cold. But I love Wisconsin. If you ever been to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, I love Milwaukee, man. I love Milwaukee
Truck
because you drove trucks out there?
Oh yeah.
That's amazing.
37 states.
Oh, that's dope. Yeah.
North Maine is where you want to go.
Okay.
It's so
I might
beautiful.
have to mess with it. Yeah.
What'd you say, Wisconsin?
No, I love Wisconsin because there's so much nature. I'm a nature guy. I love nature. I love being outside. And not just that, the Midwest has the nicest people. I don't care what anybody says. The Midwest has the most respectful people. They have the hardest working people. They have the nicest people. And y'all gonna hate me, but I think they have the most educated people.
You know why?
Why is that?
Have you been to their Walmart?
In the Midwest?
They sell the liquor in the grocery outlet at Walmart. That's why. That's why. You can't be mad. You
ain't lying.
You get your groceries and your tequila right at the same spot, in the same aisle.
For real, man.
See, Vegas, y'all got it in the separate section. See, Midwest, it's in the same aisle. So you go Frosted Flakes, Hennessy, Jameson, and Jack Daniels. So it's a good progression.
It is. But you know why too?
But that's a joke. But yeah.
No.
But somebody gonna be like, wait, what? But yeah.
But I think whenever you have an environment with a lot of land, it equates to farming. So agriculture starts everything. Everything started from farming. You know what I'm saying? So when you have areas like there's so much land, everything started out, okay, you know what? I'm going to work hard with my 10 sheeps and you work hard with your 12 goats. And then, you know what? When I develop my sheeps and you develop your goats, we can maybe trade. You can have 5 of my sheeps and I'll take 5 of your goats and we can sell them separately. If you get land, you know what? You grow some berries, I'll grow some different fruits, and then we could trade. And then we could sell different things so we can both make an income. And then education started off of that, And
but there's so much education in just that process. I got to know, okay, how much sheep do I give you for this? So now I know the math. Like me and Forrest was talking about it yesterday. He was like, when he was an officer, he was like, some of the smartest guys was like
drug dealers.
For like when he was a police department. Well, those are smart too. They start doing some math. You'd be like, what?
I'm telling you. So, some of them, hey, if you were, man.
They start doing some math. You'd be like, wait, why don't you just be a mathematician? But then again, they don't even know what a mathematician is or accountant.
But see, now.
If you could keep track, not to cut you off, but if you could keep track of hundreds of thousands of dollars in your mattress. And keep track of it and know all the breakdowns. Hey, man, you the best accountant in the world right now.
Hey, to all my weed dealers out there. Marijuana is legal in so many states now. Get you a license to have a dispensary and work at a dispensary and get you a legal business. Set up a legal business at a dispensary. I know so many people here now that move from, shout out to Joe Niz, by the way, move from like different parts of the world, moved from different parts of the state, New Jersey, came out here, opened up a dispensary or opened up a grow site, and is now, very successful, owns super successful businesses because they that was their passion. They loved the process of growing marijuana. Selling marijuana was just something they did to fund it, to get, you know what I mean? But they love the process of growing marijuana. Now my friend Joe, he grows and he distributes to almost every dispensary here in Las Vegas.
See?
And he loves his job. So yeah, it's legal now. So for all you guys that are doing this stuff in states that are illegal, find a place where you can legally do your business, and legally have a LLC, legally have your own brand. Go ahead.
To piggyback, especially off what you said, legally, half of these people, and go back to the Midwest to tie it in, because in the Midwest, I met some kids on vacation one time from the Midwest. There's like, this is a high school trip, the whole high school gone, half of them farmers and different stuff.
Yeah,
I'm going to college. I'm going to college for agriculture. So now they're going to get the experience that we talked about earlier, and they're getting further education. So now they get to meet people from a different world, but they know, I'm going to go here, learn more about the farmland. Because granted, my granddaddy, like you said, knew how to grow the berries, knew this. But the world is changing.
It is.
So now, for instance, like bees, I might have to learn more about bees because that's going to help my crops grow. Because bees are like one of the number one like fertilizers. I don't went on deep dive on bees. Documentary. I like documentaries.
Oh, for real?
So the bees help like fertilize and stuff the different plants. So you might need like, okay, I'm gonna keep, like some people, they keep a bee farm close to their farm depending on what they're growing.
Okay.
So now the bees help,
the bee industry is very popular. It's a big industry.
Man, you gotta, honey? Honey? Raw honey? Oh my goodness. Look, it's just, when you start looking, for instance, I watched a documentary about honey, right? About bees and honey and all this stuff going all over the world.
I hit a button just now. I hit the sweet spot.
Oh man.
Said, honey?
Honey, the new crack. What you talking about? It was so crazy. I watched this documentary and it showed you how all these big companies just doing all this stuff with honey.
I just bought some raw honey.
See? But where is it real raw and where is it coming from? So now they had like the Chinese market, and they
I bought it from Whole Foods, so it better be real.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
It better look. I bought it from Whole Foods and it was expensive.
Always buy your local honey. Don't buy the local honey. I know Vegas is a little bit harder, but always try to find a local honey because the local bees, especially if you have allergies, and then you talk to old people from like the Midwest and stuff. You get the local honey because the bees already touch all these different trees and then came back and made the honey. So now it's basically your antibiotic for your allergies for the season, so you don't have to worry about allergy pills. So a lot of them before the allergy season start, they go get the local honey from the farmer, and you eat that, and now the honey already has all the pollen because they make the honey from the pollen, so they already made all the. Your body's getting it as medicine.
See, that's what we need, man. None of these COVID bullshit boosters. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get canceled for that. I'm gonna get canceled for that. But fuck these COVID boosters. Go get you some honey.
Go get you the natural stuff.
Go get you some honey, man, because I don't.
And take care of yourself too.
Yeah, because I don't believe in any chemicals that these labs are producing to put in my body. I am sorry. Y'all gonna be mad at me for saying this. Y'all gonna try to cancel me. I don't give a damn. But these pharmacists and that are making these COVID booster shots, I'm sorry, but I don't. I'm not with it. I'm just not with it.
But even for us, we can't even go to GNC, especially being a UFC and even athletes. So
hey, USADA is no more.
Yeah, but they say they're coming with something bigger and better. So just in case, but. Just in case.
Hey, you going
even NCAA, when I was in college doing football, you can't just go to GNC and pull this stuff. So go ahead.
But they knew when the drug test was gonna be.
When?
And I'm saying playing football.
We didn't.
Oh, NFL does. I'm sorry,
NFL that's different. That's millions on the line. I remember we came in early. Man. We came in early one day. This dude was just sitting in the bathroom like this on a chair, same thing, just like this. And it was like next, and the toilet is right here.
Yep.
And you just come in, and he's sitting in the handicap stall. He done got his chair set up right in front of the toilet, and he like pee. And you're like, dude, you right it's splashing on you. I see it on your shoes. He ain't moved the whole time. Whole football team had to get piss test just because NCAA requires it. But to what you said with all these man-made stuff,
I'm telling you,
we can't even just go over like NCAA is, I don't think they're not governed by USADA, but even with them, we couldn't go to GNC and pick up like protein and stuff. There's like half of this stuff is tainted and it's not what you get. So there's different labels that the NCAA products that the NCAA checks, and then they put it on the label. I don't know, business wise who does that, but even for us with now doing in the UFC, we can't go and do the same thing because you get popped for different stuff. And you're like, what the heck? But it's like, so you can't trust the certain things, like you said, with these man-made stuff because you don't know what they're doing. They have these labs ain't really they not in America, so they're not really getting governed by a certain system. Even with Bobby Green, he was talking, and I was like, you know what? That is true. Yeah. When he was talking about USADA for the foreign athletes.
Yep.
Who's really
Brazil? Prime example, man. Who over there in Brazil? Getting all these athletes. Who going over to Brazil getting these athletes tested correctly? Keyword correctly, because I'm just gonna say it. There is a lot of athletes in the UFC from Brazil that they claim to eat just healthy, but
that's like the Jamaicans in track now. You say Bolt now. All that Jamaican yams. I had Jamaican yams. Now it ain't make me fast. I still only did 10.
Jamaicans can't afford no damn steroids.
True that. I ain't even gonna lie.
No damn steroids. Shit. Nope. But USADA is gonna be no more in 2024. Yep. Ooh, I'm a poet and I didn't even know it. Yeah, USADA is gonna be no more. So what they're going to bring to the table is probably gonna be their own entity, which is gonna still be a version of USADA, what they were doing. But I think the UFC, don't quote me. I have no facts here, guys. I'm just speaking on my ass right now. Do not quote me on this. But I feel like the UFC is going to be bringing in their own entity, pretty much doing it themselves instead of relying on USADA for, testing pool issues. Like you got to be 6 months in the testing pool before you can fight. That's probably going to be no more. They're probably going to change that to like a month, or they're probably going to get rid of it altogether and into saying, you know what, fuck it. We're only going to test you guys when you guys are about to fight. Who knows?
I don't like that, boy.
Yeah, but we don't know.
We don't know.
We have no idea.
I think they probably keep a lot of the similar stuff.
I think so too.
And from that, I think they'll just I think they'll keep the similar stuff. I think now, because from seeing how the UFC runs, they run stuff so meticulous. I think organized, man. So it's like I don't see it getting worse. I see it getting even
better. I think so
better
too.
And even harder for some of these people because it's like you said, even for me,
the UFC know what they're doing.
I live in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. I get tested. I've never been tested in South Carolina because all the testers are in Atlanta, Georgia. So when I was going to Atlanta, I get tested a bunch. Now I have been tested a lot, so it's not like I'm dodging it. But if I'm home, they're not coming to South Carolina just for me because that person has to drive 3 to probably 4 hours to come get me. They're not doing that.
So
you're thinking like you said, or fly. So, but they can't. That's too much equipment. Now you gotta get carry on. You got all this stuff.
Yeah.
Colombia don't have in and out, so I get tested a lot when I go to Atlanta or in Vegas. Last time I was in Vegas, I got tested like 3 times in a month.
Yeah, they all over here in Vegas. They're all over here. But now that I live here, you know what's crazy? I live here now. I don't get tested that much.
They load them out of towners, boy.
Yeah. When I lived in Wisconsin, oh my goodness, because they're locally in Chicago or Illinois.
Oh, okay, see.
So they would come from Chicago and test me.
How often though? Was it a lot or?
I would say medium. I think it helped because I don't take supplements like all these proteins because dairy, right? Dairy messes me up. So I don't really take these different kind of proteins and stuff like that. So they don't test me that much because a lot of athletes, what it is you don't get caught by by the steroid you take. You get caught by the blockers and stuff like that. That's how you get caught. But I don't do any proteins or none of that. So, I'll do some plant-based protein. Yeah. But that also has so much sodium in it. So altogether, I just eat my protein out, from things like meat, chicken, fish, steak, whatever. So they don't really mess with me.
See, I don't know why I swear it's related to the PI because of the stuff.
Maybe.
Like my results from the PI, I'll be like, they probably like,
maybe you just
this dude, he putting up too much numbers.
I'm telling you, you be manhandling people too much in your fights. That's what it is.
Blame that on my coaches at the PI.
You be grabbing them like, get your. You be manhandling people too much.
Once I get hold of you, that's it. I look. I don't want to hold you one time. I ain't got time to keep going back and forth. Look, I want to hold you one time. And just, let's go. That's it.
Oh, my boy got that slavery strength.
Oh yeah, that 5-gallon buckets of water. That's what it was,
you, man.
Man, I've been I've been strong, but it's from the upbringing.
Yep,
and stuff like that.
I was just talking about that with Cody Stamen about when you grow up doing manual labor constantly, it progresses into your elder life. Like now, we are physically more gifted because we were always doing something outside.
Yep.
Always. Even when we were playing outside, it wasn't your normal playing like we do now. Kids got all these kinds of toys and stuff to play with outside. We had to create and make everything we wanted to play with. Baseball bat, let's get some. Go in the woods, break off a piece of branch, and we throw a rock and we hit that bitch, and that's it.
Y'all used to climb trees.
What? Are you kidding me?
Y'all Jamaicans, I don't know.
Man,
sometimes we got the good trees.
I lived in the
mango trees, not the other trees.
First of all,
miracle trees.
Yeah. First of all, mangoes. I want to say there's probably 10 different types of mangoes in Jamaica.
Fun fact. There's almost over 1,000 varieties of mangoes.
I believe it.
I just found that out the other night.
Y'all got East Indian mangoes?
See, everybody call them different. We have like the Julie mango. We have the 10-pound mango.
You have the Erie, the Blackie, the Erie.
See, I don't know. Y'all got different names. Because y'all call it Genup. Y'all be the only people in the country. We call it's Kennep, but y'all call it Genup.
Genup, yeah.
It's called Kennep.
Oh, Kennep. Y'all call it Kennep?
That's what it's original. That's what it's supposed to be called.
In Puerto Rico, they call it Genepa.
Yeah, but they Spanish, so they got to put a little twist to it.
A little epa on it. They're trying to outdo us. Y'all trying to outdo us.
They put a little epa on there. You be like, But yeah.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, that's all for today. I am going to wrap up because we went a little over time, but we also started late. It's all good. We also started a little late. Man, I got to get you back on the show. Definitely. I love talking to you. I feel like we could talk for like 2 hours. Next time I get you on the show, we're going to bring you like hot stuff?
Man, yeah, I do, but...
Okay, do you like Jamaican food?
Yeah, my wife's Jamaican.
Oh, that's...
But my family Trinidad, so, we got the hot sauce. That's why I was like, if it's like Trinidad hot sauce, I ain't doing it. Nah, we got some hotter stuff in Trinidad.
Oh, for real?
So,
okay.
Scotch bonnet,
So here's what we're going to do. Next time you come on the show, you bring... There's probably places you can find around here. You bring like something from either the Virgin Islands or Trinidad, and I'll bring something from Jamaica. So find a Trinidadian store, and I know a store. It's called House of Dutch Pot. Have you been to House of Dutch Pot yet?
Nah.
I'm going to take you to
I seen you at the place, though.
Yeah, I'm going to take you to House of Dutch Pot, and we're going to do it big. But again, thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Thank you. It was a pleasure.
Yeah. Such a pleasure, man.
Caribbean.
Follow my man, Carl Williams. His @ is on the screen. Please follow him. He is a beast in the octagon.
Thank you.
He's an amazing human being. Check out his stuff on Instagram, YouTube. Don't look at his choked out video though. Look at everything else but that. So guys, that's all for today. My name is O'Day Osborne. We got Carl Williams in the building. Yes, and this is Gwaan with O'Day Osborne. Out.